morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning for our November Bloom Business Series webinar. My name is Hannah Beard. I'm the Marketing and Merchant Engagement Manager with Downtown Inc. And today's business series is all about looking ahead to 2024 events. So whether you're a downtown New York business or a county-based business, a small business owner that frequents vendor events, or a local event planner looking to increase collaboration and plan for the year ahead, we know you'll find this webinar super helpful. So we'll begin learning about just some of the events happening next year and how your business can engage with the events with our event planner panelists and how you can tap into these larger audiences that will be brought into your county and downtown New York through these events. Just a reminder, if you have any questions at any point today during the webinar or for any of our guests, submit your questions through the Q&A or chat feature at the bottom of your screen in the taskbar, and we'll address them at the end of the program during the Q&A. So today's event is made possible by our presenting sponsor, PNC. Thank you to PNC for your continued support of the 2023 Bloom Business Series. Here's a short video highlighting PNC's commitment to our community. Thanks again to PNC for sponsoring these events. So to kick off today's Bloom Business Series, I will first be briefly covering some ways to tap into larger audiences that will be coming into the county and downtown New York for events, where to find local events online, and how to tap into these event planners and their audiences. Then I'll turn it over to our lovely panelists. So to begin here, I have a couple ways here to engage with local events. So we always get asked, what events are happening? How can I stay in the know? When are events happening? As business owners, we understand that you are juggling a million things at once. So we always try to direct you to a couple platforms. So I have here to sign up for newsletters, and most businesses and organizations have some type of online newsletter that you can sign up for. I don't recommend signing up for too many, because that can be clogging your email inbox and become overwhelming and defeating the purpose. So sign up for newsletters from businesses or organizations that you know that you engage with frequently. Maybe it is your neighbor, maybe it is a business around the corner from you that you get customers from them. If you're near the Appel Center, if you have similar hours to the business across the street from you, if you know that businesses come in from out of town to explore York events, sign up for those newsletters to help better stay in the know with what they're doing and who they're bringing into your area. Also, a great way to know what's going on in your area is is to follow social media accounts. If you get your news or you kind of stay in the know with social media, every morning you wake up, scroll social media, follow these accounts. Of course, some are specific to the county, some are specific to downtown New York. So the city of York, they share events, they share press releases, they share street closure information, great information about events, and also just general news and things happening in the city from the city of York governance body. So follow them on social media. Of course, I put our social media, Downtown Inc. social media here. This is Downtown New York, PA. We share other events happening in downtown York. If there are special events from a group of businesses coming downtown. If there's a First Friday or Small Business Saturday event coming, we try to share information from our website directly to social media, as well as other businesses events as well. And then previously I mentioned our friends at Explore York. Explore York is doing a lot of work to bring in thousands, tens of thousands of visitors from other areas to York County and to downtown York. So engaging with them is a great way to tap into their audiences as well. And speaking of Explore York, they are, we're working with them to provide our merchants with a list, with downtown York merchants with a list of events like 2023 and 2024 events through their events convention calendar. And it is not yet completed for 2024, but it is almost there. And we've been sharing this frequently through our newsletters and our Facebook merchant group. So if you're not in those groups, not signed up for a newsletter, definitely do that. And we'll be working with our friends at Explore York to have our business owners engage with those event audiences more next year. Also, the York County Economic Alliance, they do a lot of events throughout the county, which you'll hear about later in our program, and engaging with those events and seeing how you as a business owner and also participant can get involved in those. And of course, speaking of our lovely panelists, York City special events and doing events specifically in York City. Just yesterday, the Christmas tree came downtown, and how you as a business owner, and again, also visitor and participants can stay in the know with what is going on downtown. Again, I won't steal her thunder, but there's a lot coming up at the end of the year and a lot of exciting things happening that can definitely impact your business positively. So speaking of York City special events and all the fun things happening downtown York, our first presenter for today is Kate Harmon. I have here that she is today representing Work in Progress, but Kate wears, I think, 30 hats at once at all times. Kate is the owner of Work in Progress, an event planning business that also focuses on brand creation, expansion, revision, as well as marketing tools like social media management and public relations. Kate is also the Give Day coordinator with Give Local York, York's 24-hour online giving spree benefiting hundreds of York nonprofits. In addition to those roles, Kate also works with the Michael J. Fox Foundation through marketing and outreach efforts. And this I totally stole from your LinkedIn, but I loved it. Kate is a self-proclaimed connector of people and doer of things. And Kate works day in and day out to bring special events and unique experiences to the city of York and York County. So Kate, I will turn it over to you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Good morning, everybody. I'm like, let's talk events. Where do we even start? Just a heads up for everybody, coming down the pipeline. I did notice a lot of people didn't know about the tree coming yesterday. So I'm working on how we share our news and information. It's always an ever growing process. The city of York did send out a press release. So if you're not on their list, I suggest that as well. It's also really helpful for when they do know about construction projects to know if, I don't know if you guys have also experienced that when you like go to work and the road is closed in front of your shop or business. That could also be helpful to know if they do know in advance. We have Light Up Night coming up with the city of York on First Friday. So, for me, I always say when people ask like how to get involved in events, if you know what's going on, find a way to, that's going to be a huge amount of people, probably only less than Give Local May First Friday coming into town that may not normally be coming into town. So if there's something that your business or your shop could do, our goal with York City special events is always to get people in businesses, to get people walking around downtown and then wanting them to come back downtown. We believe that city special events should be for York, by York, but also increase foot traffic into shops. So we're working on having people walking around. So they'll come downtown for the ceremony at 6, and then we kind of push them out into First Friday. So we do try to be a little strategic with that. So if you have businesses that are in between the square, over to Central Market, or maybe you have businesses that are on the way to Royal Square or in Royal Square, we are putting Santa at the Yorktown, which will help kind of bridge that gap and have people walking around downtown. We would love to have businesses. If you have something going on, please shoot me an email, let me know on social media. I think that it never detracts from, I mean, I like it when people say there's too much going on. I can't get everything done in one night. So let me know if you've got stuff going on or you want to support. The biggest thing with events right now too is coming back out of COVID. The money for sponsorships just is not there anymore. People cut during COVID and they've had a hard time coming back. So if you want to see events happen and you can support, that's the best way to do so, because I truly believe that. And I think it was kind of corroborated by a study that we did a couple years ago, that events are often the thing that bring people into York for the first time. And if they have a good experience, they're going to come back. So that's just good for us and our love of York City and York County, but also for business, and all the other good stuff going on. We also have New Year's Eve coming up at the end of December, which I can't believe I have to start planning that already. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that way. And then that'll push us into the new year with our regular slate of York City special events. I also run beer and wine festivals. So those are great opportunities, especially if you own a restaurant. People will drink and then they will need somewhere to go eat more before they go home. I think the best thing that we can do to support events is to go to them to help spread the word. If you want a poster, let people know. I've kind of gotten to the point where unless I can convince Hannah to have an intern take things around for me, I don't really walk posters from door to door just because I'm one person and I don't want to. But if you want a poster, I'd be more than happy to bring it to you. If there's anything that event planners can do that's not like too much work to help you spread the word, to help you get involved, like we're always, I think you guys can, both the Megans can probably attest to, like when you're in event world, you just kind of put your head down and try to go from event to event. So there could be great ideas out there that maybe I tried a long time ago or just I haven't had the energy for. So ideas are always welcome, whether it comes to making events better and spreading the word. Although don't tell me something's wrong during an event, because that will make me sad. That happens to me quite a bit. So that's kind of my spiel. Give Locals also always the first Friday in May. So guys, keep that on your calendar. It's a wonderful opportunity to get involved, not just to bring business into downtown, but to support nonprofits in our community. In doing so, we raised $4.64 million this year in 24 hours, and it's only up from here. So I always say the best thing to do is just to reach out and connect to people. If it's reach out to me, I will connect you to someone else if you need. Like I said, like Hannah pulled from my Instagram. People always ask me, what do you do? And I'm like, I don't know. I connect people and I do things because I do wear so many hats. So if it's not me you're looking for, I can find the right person for you in your efforts to benefit from events, but also spread the word for us.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate. So, Kate, a couple questions that came to top of mind now. You talked about Give Local, you talked about end of year events. Do you want to talk a little bit about the latest announcement from Give Local for our nonprofits that are on?
Yeah, so we soft launched in conjunction with Kindness Week, we have launched Give Local York 365. We have found over the years that so we had about 330 nonprofits participating with us this year. 20% of those nonprofits only raise money online during the Give Day, and another 22% only use PayPal. So they told us that their need is for year-round giving. And so we have stepped up to create a platform to do that for them. Some of our nonprofits are getting ready to go ahead of Giving Tuesday so that they're able to collect money for the first time online for Giving Tuesday. Everybody else will be registered for Give Local 365 when they register for Give Local York Give Day. So I will do that work for them so that they don't have to do double the work. But it's just going to be a really great opportunity for the community to have a good snapshot. It's kind of like a hyperlocal guide star. So you'll be able to go in and you'll be able to see all the nonprofits and learn about their financials, learn about what they need, their wish list, donate, make monthly gifts. We're working to create with it a volunteer platform. So as the United Way is kind of shifting its focus, we're kind of stepping up to fill those immediate needs and becoming like a one-stop shop for our nonprofits. So that'll be a great place to go for events for nonprofits, to fill board holes that they may have, and then to volunteer. And I know a lot of our businesses, especially in the downtown area, are really wonderful with asking their employees to give back. So we're hopefully in the fall, we'll be announcing Day of Action's return. So that will be a great opportunity for people to give back to our nonprofits as well.
Excellent. And on Give Local York, what ways can a small business community, countywide, downtown specific, how can they engage with the nonprofit community for Give Local York on Give Local Day?
Yeah, I think that the best thing to do is if you have a cause that you really care about, reach out to them, ask them how you can help. I know that running a small business is difficult and you don't often have a lot of extra capital around. But if you can support financially, that's always great. And that could be we take donations as small as $5. But say you have a coffee shop, we can raise money in April. So you really love pets, you love the SPCA. They're always my example because kids and animals will always do well. $1 from every coffee from April through Give Local, or $1 from your yoga session, or a donation jar. It doesn't have to be money that you as a business owner then lose. You can up your price for a month to get that extra $1 or a couple dollars. Often, a lot of times they need help spreading the word. So it doesn't have to be money. It can be, you could do a peer-to-peer fundraiser so that you have a link that you're sharing out with your community saying, this is a cause that's really important to me. I think you should care about them too. Anything like that. You can get lost in the sea of 330 nonprofits. So anything that you can do to help kind of, raise a flag and alert people to things that are important to you are very helpful.
Okay. Thanks, Kate. And what are some examples, just to kind of give some inspiration for ways that small businesses can engage with Light Up York and New Year's Eve plans, or what are some other businesses doing?
So on Light Up, obviously it's First Friday. So we'll have a lot of gallery openings. We'll have a lot of, the Appel Center they were kind enough to bump their holiday movies till 7:30 so that and that also is important to me as an event planner to know that I should let them know when the ceremony is, because people will then, if they started their movie at 6:30, then nobody's going to be in the theater to watch the movie. And I wouldn't want to do that to them. That would be mean. So I try to kind of keep an eye on what people are doing. So yes, the ceremony will be at 6. It will run till probably about 6:45, 7 o'clock, just for your planning purposes. Thank you. I just had coffee brought to me. And so if you have things that are going on, if you have events, you can make York City Special Events a co-host. You can also, if you don't want me to be a co-host, I understand, you can let me know and I can just add it to my page so that when people go to York City Special Events, they see it on the calendar. Same thing goes for adding Downtown Inc., Downtown York to your events. So when people go looking for information, they know that they can come into your store as well. I see some questions here too about participating in First Friday. If you're a business and you want to do something, there's no cost. So just do it. I know Downtown Inc. accepts, I don't know what your deadline is, if it's already passed for December First Friday, but you can always shoot them a note and let them know what you're doing and they can try to put it online. There is a big list on the Downtown Inc. website. There's a First Friday link. You basically, people coming downtown will click into it and they can sort by shopping. And it's okay if your thing is just like, we have extra hours. People want to know, if you're not doing something crazy, they want to know that a shop that maybe is not normally open, it is open for First Friday. So let them know so that they can put that up there as well.
Awesome, Kate. Yeah, thank you. All of that. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so with Light Up York being on First Friday, there's going to be so much happening downtown. So our plan is to absolutely, you can still get us the event info for December 1st Friday. Send us that information, shoot me a message, shoot me an email. There's also a promo form for First Friday specifically. We'll populate that information onto our website and our Facebook event page. And then, like Kate said, when somebody goes to search downtown York First Friday, all of that information will pop up, and we'll be sure to cross promote the Light Up York event as well. So it's all laid out, and there will be a map as well, right, Kate?
Yeah, it's not going to be super specific. A lot of the times it's like the big things like where's the reindeer, where's Santa. I'm looking at maybe trying to put an escape room in Royal Square. So it used to be in Rex Laurel, which obviously is under construction right now, which I did not realize was happening so quickly. Again, I guess if I paid attention to press releases, I would know. So yeah, and also if you have space that you want to offer up for events, like that's also great. Like it doesn't have to be me. It can be Go Green in the city. It could be, I know that there's some really great markets run by some of the vendors downtown. If you have space or, people that you can lend us, that's always really important to make things happen and have events keep happening downtown. I did miss an earlier question about signing up for Give Local York. As long as you are a 501c3 or you have a fiscal sponsor and you serve residents of York County, and that can even be one resident of York County, because we do have one nonprofit that actually just the one person they serve is the annual scholarship that they give to a York County resident. So that counts. So registration actually opens on Monday. So you could just visit our site at any point after then and register. There is a registration fee, but if that is a barrier for you, there's a place where you can just email me and I can get you hooked up with a scholarship from our friends at White Rose Credit Union. We don't want that fee to ever be a barrier for a nonprofit, especially a first-year nonprofit, to join us. So that's always been something great that we could do. And if you have any trouble, you can always just reach out to me. We have a lot of trainings. We have a lot of how-tos. If you have a question, it has probably already been asked and there is a support article for it somewhere. I just have to dig it out.
Excellent. And Kate, there's so much happening. Again, we hear it all the time. How do I know what's going on? Even event planners and ourselves, like the fire station, we're like, how do we miss that? There's so much going on, so much information to intake. And especially with events, what would you say is your go-to for staying in the know the best way you can?
I will do my plug for let Kelly and Rita know that I said York 365. When you put events on York 365, it also populates the YDR's website and I believe Explore York. So you don't have to do the work 3 times. Whenever I'm doing an event, I always check the calendar first. I always tell event planners or people that want to do events that as well. The worst thing to do would be to say I'm going to do this and I'm going to put it right on top of somebody else's event that's a block away because it's going to be hard and it's going to detract people and probably piss off some people as well, which we don't want to do. We all want to work together to lift up York City. So yeah, York 365, also Facebook. Let's be honest, we all get our news and information from our friends and what they share. So that's why if you follow me on Facebook, I share a lot of stuff because I know how hard it is to get people to get your information. So following the things that you're interested in, whether it be, make sure you follow Downtown Inc. because they share stuff all the time. Explore York shares a lot of stuff that's out, more in the county. York City special events. Crocodile Dog Marketing is my company for beer and wine festivals. So if you like beer and wine, those are the things that following those people will help you see what they want to do. I do see a question too about bakeries. If you want to participate in First Friday and you are a bakery, there's my cat screaming. I think Matthew did that on purpose. And sorry. Serving food, if you're not in a restaurant, you will need to get a special permit from the city. I think it's only $25. It takes 2 seconds to fill out online and then they'll send something to you. So you would be able to participate in First Friday I don't know if you're doing spots for December. I don't know. Usually there are
So,
people on Beaver Street. You can be
yeah,
there.
yeah, so great segue to First Friday stuff. First Friday vendors on Beaver Street will be from May to October. Yeah, May to October. And I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for all that information about how to become a vendor and the special permitting, so that the person that asked the question has those answers and can save that as well.
Absolutely.
I also dropped the link for York's 365 where you can go in, make a profile, sign up, create a password, all that good stuff, and then begin to populate your events on that platform.
Yeah. And I think especially if you're starting a bakery or something like that, being a part of First Friday is a wonderful idea. I know that a long time ago, this was before COVID, Taylor Chip Cookie was in York for the first time at Mother's Day Street Fair. And now they have like
7
2,
locations.
3 locations, a new
Yeah.
one in York. I was already there on the second day buying cookies. You should go, they're amazing. But yeah, you can test out a lot of your stuff at First Fridays and at smaller events, and then get people to follow you and love you. And that's always great to open when you already have a following. Gift Horse did the same thing. They were at our beer festivals for 5 years before they opened their brick and mortar. So when they did, they already had a big following.
Excellent. Awesome. Kate, anything else before I turn it over to our next panelist?
Oh, volunteer, volunteer, volunteer.
Yes.
If you want things happening in York, you must volunteer. I cannot do everything. My group cannot do everything. And it's okay if it's only an hour here or there. Most people will somewhere in their social media, on their websites, will have a link to volunteering. We also reward you in beer tickets for a lot of things if you volunteer for us. So that's a plus as well. You know, that will be the thing that burns out event planners is the lack of volunteers. And I know that our time is more precious than I feel like it used to be before COVID. But if you can help with setup and then be gone, or help with breakdown, we're all tired by the end. Moving stuff is the worst. So if you have some time to give. Also, we have a program where if you have a company and you want to send 5 people, let me know, and we'll actually, kind of pay you for your hours, but we'll donate those to a nonprofit. So you get to pick the nonprofit, and it doesn't have to be a 501c3. It can be so-and-so who runs the neighborhood association, and you really love what they do for your community. We'll support those people as well.
Thanks. Thanks, Kate. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to our next panelist. Again, if you have questions, please keep them coming in the Q&A, and we can circle back at the end of the presentations and go ahead and answer those. So keep them coming. So introducing our next panelists, we have Megan Kreiser here and Megan Anderson. They're from the York County Economic Alliance. Megan Kreiser is the Assistant Vice President of Events, and Megan Whittle is the Events Manager. Again, both my lovely colleagues at the York County Economic Alliance. So they'll be sharing local events brought to you both by Downtown Inc. and the York County Economic Alliance, and how you can become more engaged with those events and opportunities for you as a business owner. So ladies, take it away.
Thanks so much, Hannah. I'm Megan Kreiser, and this is Megan Whittle, also known as just the Event Megans, if you need us at any point. And we're going to talk about some of the events that the York County Economic Alliance does with Downtown Inc. So the first one is this is our Bloom Business Series event. And we are revamping this for 2024. So stay tuned for some more information. We really want to make sure this is focused on all of our small businesses across York County. So we're really excited to work through and launch something in 2024. So stay tuned for more of that to come. Then we also do downtown updates. We just recently had ours on November 8th. These are the dates for the spring. We have May 15th and we have November 6th for 2024. So our downtown updates are a really great opportunity to hear from our Downtown Inc. team. They give you a brief overview, kind of like a high five of the top things that we've done since our last meeting, and different things to also look forward to in 2024. So that's also, it's really cool because we also invite different panelists to come in. So as you can see for our spring one, we decided to to do a little cover on the Cadoras project. So Silas Chamberlain talked about everything going on with the Cadoras Creek project and the beautification of all of that. And then we also did a real estate update. So we had 3 realtors focused on commercial and residential real estate and had them talk about our update. It was really cool to hear from that and to have everyone in the audience also see what was going on within the city. And then First Fridays, we kind of touched on already. So we host it down on the street on Beaver Street May through October. So it's always that very first Friday. We just had a question real quick about the downtown updates in 2024. Yes, they kick off at 8 o'clock. They're 8 to 9 at the Appel Center. Doors open at 7:30. So save those dates. We'll be pushing out more information about the panelists and everything as we get closer to that. But back to First Friday, we're always looking for vendors to come to the street and line up. We do nonprofit rates and also vendor rates. And as Kate said, if you are a food vendor, you do need to apply for your permit through the city, and they have other requirements. Anything else you want to touch on for First Friday?
Yeah, so it happens on North and South Beaver, depending on the month. We aim for around 30 vendors each month to really fill out that street. So if you are someone who's not a merchant in downtown, but you want to have a presence, that's a great opportunity. And if you are a merchant, you already know how to get involved, and you can bring your own vendors to have outside of your shop. So if there's someone you have a connection with or another small business you want to highlight, or if you want to highlight a nonprofit, that is another really good way of giving back with not doing any money donation. You can give them a space and highlight them.
It's always a really fun time. We're looking to increase more music performers. So if you know someone, have them apply for us. We'll have all this information on the Downtown Inc. website under First Fridays. The whole calendar will be there. We'll have listed when you can apply for being a vendor. And also if you know any music acts that want to come. We really want to make sure it's a lively and fun time every First Friday in downtown York. So some other events that we do, our Downtown First Awards, we just celebrated that this past August, and we're looking to do it again in August of 2024. This is a really cool opportunity where we recognize the movers and the shakers across all of the districts in the downtown, individuals, volunteers, and it's a really great opportunity to highlight your friends and your neighbors and even your own business if you want to apply to be that. This is the first year that we recognized and had like best business in all of our districts. So we had Wico, Market, and Royal Square. And it was really cool to get out and celebrate with the entire community. We were at Keystone Kids Space. And it was just a really fun evening. We had Ralph Reel, that's who's giving the performance in that photo. He really kicked it off, and it was just a really fun evening to celebrate. So really, if you know someone, keep your eye open for those applications, which will open next summer. Always looking to share the love and recognize those people who are doing fantastic things in our downtown. Megan, I'll let you talk about Hanging of the Greens. It's this weekend. And then we also will have it again next year, but Megan is leading the charge on that. So I'll let her talk about that.
Yeah, Hanging of the Greens, we do it annually. It's always the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And we hang greens on the ornamental light poles of downtown New York. So as Kate was saying, this is not possible without our volunteers. So if you're looking for volunteer opportunities, the more the merrier for Sunday, but I also understand that's a quick turnaround time with our schedules these days. So keep an eye out for next year. It's usually a group around 40 to 50 people. We all meet in the square in front of Prince Street, and then we send off, and you're in charge of hanging 5 greens on different light posts. And then we all gather back again. And Prince Street is generous enough to give us some free refreshments afterwards. It's a great time of just getting in the Christmas mood before Thanksgiving, and then also to be able to help decorate downtown prior to Small Business Saturday. So making sure all the visitors who are coming in on Saturday after Thanksgiving really feel that holiday spirit and can see what our downtown is.
As Kate said and Megan just said, we always need volunteers for these events. So if you're interested, Our contact information is on the YCA website, and we're always willing to work with people to get more volunteers. We're really excited because next year we'd like to expand a little bit of our greens and cover all of our districts. So really excited to see the Christmas spirit come alive this weekend downtown, and also again next year.
All right, so I will talk about Go Green in the City. This is one of our largest Downtown Inc. events that we host every year. It's usually on or around Earth Day. For 2024, it's going to be on April 22nd from 10 to 3 p.m. This is an event where we have around 70 vendors take up North and South Beaver Street. We have opportunity to grow that. That is a goal for this year, to reach above 75. If you're interested in getting involved, there's a bunch of different ways to do that, which I will touch on shortly. But the overall vibe of the event is to live clean and green in downtown. And that can look very different depending on what vendor it is. We have some artisanal vendors who do upcycling of clothes, some tie-dye vendors who take old or used clothes and repurpose them. We also have some sponsors who hand out trees to kids. It's very friendly, family-friendly, kid-friendly event as well. We have food trucks. We usually have like this big hamster wheel that people can be on and they can run on, and that will turn their own Italian ice. So it's just a great time being downtown. To get involved, if you are not, or anyone, if you want a space, we are about to open vendor applications for 2024. We are going to be doing a special promo for if you apply and pay before the end of this year, you'll get a discount off your application. It's a 10 by 10 space. We are looking for clean green vendors, but if you are a small business and you sell certain stuff, like for example in this photo, Refillism, although they have a storefront on South Beaver, they also have a tent set up here. So if you have any questions about that as a vendor, please reach out to me. My email is on the Go Green website on the Downtown Inc. And then once again, volunteers. We always need volunteers for setup during teardown. As Kate was saying, if you can give an hour of your time, that makes a huge difference to make these things happen. If you have any questions, once again, you can email me. And I hope to see you there on April 27th.
And I think one thing that's really cool about Go Green is that we do see over 6,000 people come to the city that day. So these are people who might not come to the city all the time. They're coming down with their family. They want to see all the different vendors. They're walking into all of our different merchants, Central Market, and then they're staying in the city for the day. So I think that's just a really great opportunity for everyone to get downtown, to showcase what you're doing, and just really get involved and have people see what's going on in York. It's really fun. I think my favorite thing is that you have alpacas every single year. So that's really cool. If your kids have not seen alpacas before, bring them on down and they can learn about how to be clean and green, but also pet a furry animal, which is really cool. Who doesn't love animals? Okay, so our next event is also Megan takes the lead on this. So I'll let you talk about Sweetest Pint.
Yes, the Sweetest Pint is one of my personal favorite events that we do. We do it twice a year right now, and it's a walking tour of downtown, and we stop at 7 different locations. But at each location, yes, you get a shop, you get a look around, but you also get a drink and food pairing there. So we just this past fall on October 28th, we just had our most recent Sweetest Pint. And for example, OMG Studios was one of our stops. They had beer from brewery products, and then they also had chili. So a good fall pairing there, and people were able to, yes, look at the gallery, but they also had some interactive activities for them where they can make their own ornaments. So we have around 150 people each time around. So that's 150 people that are walking through a shop, possibly for the first time. Because if you're constantly in downtown, you obviously know that there is so much to explore. It's more than the one restaurant that has your favorite burger. There's a lot of galleries to go into. There's a lot of shops and boutiques that you might not just go in on a regular day. So that helps people get through and see new things, experience downtown for what we know and love it as. So we have many ways of getting involved in Sweetest Pint. If you are a downtown merchant, We'd love to have you as a tour stop. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know, but I'll give a quick overview. We ask for you to be open on that Saturday from 2 to 5. And we have 7 groups come through, and each group is around 15 to 25 people, depending on the size of the tour group. We ask that you're available to give your little elevator pitch on what your business is, what you do, what you're passionate about. And we also ask that you provide food. You can provide it from a local merchant is something that we always ask and preach for, because we want to be able to highlight as many of our small businesses as possible. It's a great opportunity to get in front of 150 people who might not be in your regular customer base. One of my favorite things to hear and see from Sweetest Pine is people coming up to me and being like, I didn't know about that studio, but I just got their business card and I'm going to ask them for a painting. Or when I'm at the end reception, I've seen so many gift bags coming from our tour stops. I got really jealous of everyone who was able to go shop at Bound on our last one. I think I saw like 30 gift bags coming to our end reception that day. Another way of being involved is we need tour guides. So these tour groups cannot get from one place to another without our lovely tour guides. We do have opportunities. It's a great way of volunteering. It's a great way of getting involved and plugged into your community. I love our tour guides. They're the ones who make this event what it is. They make it really fun and engaging for our attendees. We have one tour group for our Halloween area of it that always dress up, and I always have to laugh whenever I go and check them in. So if you're interested in being that, reach out to me. And if you're a small business that is a food vendor, or you have any beverages of any type, we'd love to highlight you. So if you are a food vendor and you want to highlight a new appetizer, a new small bite, this is a perfect opportunity for you. If you do have alcohol, please reach out to me. We love to highlight that there. But I also want to focus on some non-alcoholic beverages. So we do offer some designated driver tickets. And within that ticket, we give people a non-alcoholic beverage. And it's a focus for me for 2024 to really highlight small businesses who offer different types. So if that's kombucha, if that's a fancy lemonade, if it's mocktails that you could make, really looking to be creative in that experience. And then, as always, these events are not possible without our sponsors. So we have a lot of different sponsorship opportunities if that's something that you're interested in. We can be very flexible and work with you with what that could look like, but that's how to get involved with She's Fine.
And I think what's really cool that we did this year in 2023 that we plan to continue in 2024 is our last stop is where everyone gathers, and it's like an end reception party. And it's really cool to see all the tour guides come together, all the groups come together in one location, and really just have a good time and kind of party a little bit, talk about everything that they learned in the downtown. I personally know that I've invited people who don't come downtown New York, and they came to Sweetest Pint, and they're so excited to come back and check out all these small shops and cool locations that they just didn't know about. And now they're telling their friends as well. So it's a really great opportunity to get involved. Again, as a tour guide, always looking for people who want to talk about York, walk around the city, know cool things about the city, but also be that tour stop for us. We really want to highlight all of our different districts. So if you're in any of them, please let us know, and we'll work on a map and get everyone out to your business. So just reach out and let us know if you have any questions for that or are interested. Application, well, we don't really do applications, but tickets and everything will open in January. But if you are interested in being a tour stop or tour guide, please reach out to Megan Whittle or me. Doesn't really matter, but she runs it sooner rather than later, so we can get all that lined up and start promoting it. So some other ways to get involved with the YCEA that I think are just very helpful for everyone to know. These are good professional development opportunities, good networking opportunities, and just ways to really help grow your business. So our economics club breakfast series, it's every last Wednesday morning at the Wyndham Garden. And it's a really great opportunity for you to get in the room with some other account level people from different organizations. And we always cover a topic that's going to affect your industry. So the manufacturing industry was one of them. We did tourism and breweries in our trail towns. We've done childcare, which is an issue that covers not only the parents, but also the employers, just everything across the board. So it's a really great opportunity to learn a little bit more about what we're doing as an organization and across York County. So we have more information on our website about that. And then our Bloom Business Empowerment Center is really awesome. Sully and Marlena lead that. So if you are a small business and need some extra support, they offer classes, which they're going to announce for 2024 soon. They have boot camps where they do a deeper dive into different things such as marketing. So we did a marketing session for this series back in October, where we kind of told you how to implement all of your marketing and how you can market on a $0 budget, a $500 budget, and a bigger budget. In the boot camps, you actually learn how to make things through Canva, how to really build out your branding with that, and just different graphics that you can do and make. So really excited to build those out more for 2024. And they also do loans and grants. So there's I think it's bloomyork.org. And we can drop that into the chat then. It's an opportunity for you just to get some more funding for a project or work with us for a small business loan at an affordable rate. And that continues to grow. We are launching a women-owned business. So if you're a 51% minority-owned business for women, you are able to apply for our grant round. It opens this Thursday. So we're really excited for that. And you will actually pitch it at our WBCO, which is the next thing on my list. Our Women's Business Center Organization Luncheon, which is December 12th at 11:30 to 1 at the Heritage Hills. You are able to pitch and we will grant awards right then and there, which is really exciting. So if you are a women-owned business, 51% majority owned by women, please reach out and we will get you lined up with how to apply for that grant. Again, that opens this Thursday. Our Women's Business Center organization is a really great opportunity for women and men to network. We always have fun topics. This past one, we talked about our mentorship program, which was really cool. Our mentorship program is, if you're a WBCO member, you can apply to be a part of it. And we take someone who's more seasoned in their career and someone who's just starting out, or anyone who really just wants that extra professional guidance and mentorship. And you can come to our question. I see a question there. I'm going to get Megan to find out the answer for us about businesses and nonprofits for the grants. But for Women's Business Center Organization, we always welcome people to attend and to learn more and to continue growing professionally. And then our last one is our Showcasing Yoko. That is our annual dinner every single year. This year it's April 4th at the Wyndham. We are so excited. It's a way that we can showcase everything that's happening across York County, all of our businesses, individuals, entrepreneurs, and young professionals. So it's a really great time. Always looking for people who might want to attend that event. And then I have a question that says, are the grants only for businesses or can a nonprofit apply as well?
For these grants, it is not for nonprofits. The Bloom is only for small businesses. But if you are looking for some resources, you can reach out to the city. They have a nonprofit grant program there, and Give Local as well. So I'm sure Kate has some more information too.
Yeah. I think that is all that we had to share for our events. I will let Hannah come back on and I can stop sharing and open this up.
Great, excellent, great information. Thank you guys so much. All right, so again, reminder, if you have questions, please drop them in the chat. We'll start to answer some of those right now. I'll open it up for all of our panelists to answer. So first question that I have here is, what are some ways to get involved with events if you have a limited or non-existing budget? So Kate, I will turn this one over to you.
I think I hinted on it earlier too, like just help spread the word. And also I think somebody mentioned nonprofits during First Friday. That also is a great idea for Give Local. I know sometimes our businesses can't support financially, but if you love a certain nonprofit, offer them a space if you have traffic coming in on that Friday, whether it be coffee in the morning or you know, coming by to, if you have pets, bring some of the pets in so people come in and see the dogs and the cats, and you know, whatever you can do. I mean, I always say call and talk to them or shoot them an email, because who calls anymore these days? But ask them how you can help. Say, I don't have the money, but you know, you might not think of something that you have that you can offer, that they'll be like, actually, that would be wonderful. Or say you have a connection with, I don't know, yesterday I was in a meeting and we were talking about needing an extra golf cart, and somebody random said, oh, I know a guy who owns a golf cart place. Let me see if he'll donate one for free. So like, you might not have the thing, but you might have the connection to somebody who would be willing or able to help. So
Yeah, great point. And on that about First Friday, specifically with Give Local York, we talked a lot about Beaver Street vending opportunities, but there's also opportunities throughout the whole city during First Fridays in the Royal Square District in Waco, and there's a lot of stuff happening. I know specifically for Give Local York for Royal Square District during Give Local, they'll host a nonprofit in an art gallery, even if they're not shutting the street down. So definitely opportunities there to engage with those nonprofits if you're a business owner.
absolutely.
I'll turn it over to the Megans about engaging with events, even if you have a limited or non-existent budget.
Yeah, my brain first goes to volunteering. I know that's like the theme of the day. But we have some great business partners who will send 5 employees to go participate with Hanging of the Greens. And we can work out some deals there, some trades. We'd love to highlight our partners there. So on the tags that will go up on the greens on Sunday, we do list some of our partners down there. And some of those are not monetary partners. They really just provide volunteers. Royal Square, they provide us ladders. So if a one-time use, it doesn't always have to be writing us a check or anything. We love hands who can come and help. Other ways is we have some free networking events that you can just attend. So we have a series called Yoko Connect Live. If you're interested in just getting involved in the community more, that's a great place to start. It doesn't take any money to sign up. You're more than welcome to come. But then we also are always looking for hosts too. So if that does kind of have a more of a budget attached to it, as we do ask for you to provide food and drinks for people, but I encourage you just to come out, get plugged in, attend events, come say hi to us.
Yeah, please always come to things if you can. I swear, part of being an event planner is assuming nobody will show up. And it happens from like, you know, are you having a dinner party and are the people who you know are coming actually coming, to like, I feel that way before what the food trucks. Clearly people are going to show up, but I'm like, nobody's going to come.
Yes, just a little anxiety to get you ready for the event.
And I think other ways that you could partner if you have a limited budget is partner with other merchants and other businesses to see if you can create kind of like a package deal together. So if you want to be a tour stop for Sweetest Pint and you're a little bit worried about the cost, find another partner in the community that might be able to help you provide that food and provide the beverages, and you can market it all in your spot. So I think there's some creative ways that we can really develop good partnerships throughout the city for our events that isn't going to cost one person a ton of money.
And if you have any questions about that, like if you want to be involved in Sweetest Pint or you want to be involved in Go Green, but you're just not sure how you can swing it with your budget for 2024, reach out to me. Let's see if we can get creative. I love solving problems, so let me know.
All right, Kate, I'm gonna direct this next one at you. So this question is, what are some ways that I can plan a community event or festival in 2024? Are there any free classes to provide assistance with something like this? So I know this is quite the big ask, but let's say for the sake of this question, this is a medium scale festival or event.
Yeah, so there are no classes for things. I am working on building a nonprofit that will actually be an event guild. Matthew, my husband, and I, who run Work in Progress, are doing that, which would then be able to provide training and also support. But it doesn't exist yet. But that will also just be me doing the same thing that I already do. So if I say too, there's something about York. I'm not from here, so I know people who are from York tend to look down on it at times. I think York is great. I think one of the really cool things about it is that if you have an idea, there are people who will help you with it. I meet a lot of times with people who have an idea and they just want to know, you know, do I have any suggestions on how to get it done or places to hold things? We definitely lack indoor space for a lot of people here in the city. So people will often reach out to me about that or ideas or alcohol. If you're trying to put alcohol in an event, you're probably doing it wrong and you're probably going to get in trouble. So reach out to me and I can help you avoid that. But people will be willing to share their ideas with you to, oftentimes too, there's something like, maybe there's something similar happening that you just don't know about. And then you can get connected to those people and you don't have to do a whole event. You can support somebody else doing it. York is cool in the way that, like, you know, we'll help you through it. I also have an event space down in Glen Rock. So if you want to try something new in Glen Rock, like, let's talk, because I would be willing to offer it to people for free to try out a new idea, to bring people into the space. It's all about giving people the opportunity to succeed and try something new. And if you want to learn to run things on a small scale, reach out to me because I can give you something. One of our goals with city special events is that I'm not doing everything all the time. So with that, we can train up the new generation of event people with an event that's already happening so that you're not starting from the ground up. You have the support from us when it comes to graphics and websites and volunteer management. You're just taking the lead on that and learning. So if you want to learn, I got box lunch, I got light up night. Come help. That's how I learned how to do 90% of the things I do, is I just jumped into it and figured it out from there.
Yeah, that's great, Kate. And it's so true. We always joke at the cliche of like the rising tides lifts all boats because it's so cliche, but it's so true. And New York is so unique and specific in that way that, you know, there really are, you know, oodles of people just willing to lend support, share knowledge and help so that you don't have to, you know, feel like you're reinventing the wheel every time, which is it's great. All right, last question here. I work in community engagement for a local nonprofit, and we're working to increase our presence in the community in 2024. Are there any events that you would recommend that we should target next year? So the Megans, I'll turn this to you first.
Yeah, go green for sure. Would be a great opportunity just to get your name out there in front of a lot of people, with other merchants in the downtown, and also all of our First Friday events. So we offer a very small nonprofit rate to have a booth set up for First Fridays. You get added to the website. It's a great way to get involved. And then also, as Megan mentioned, our Yoko Connect Live networking events, which, stay tuned, those dates should be announced by the end of the year, early next year. But it's a great way to kind of mix and mingle with everyone, and we're willing to work with some nonprofits to get your name out there.
Also a quick plug for our Economics Club breakfast and our WBCO. Those are both monthly events. It is a separate membership, so if you're interested in joining as a member, if you're going to attend every month, that's a great option. But if you just want to come to one and check it out, let me know. But we also just do one-offs. Those are every month. It is the programs that Megan here was talking about a little bit earlier, but it is a great time to meet those who are really involved in the community. You can come as an attendee, but there's also sponsorship opportunities for those as well if you're trying to get your name out there as a business. We have monthly sponsors that give you sometimes remarks as well as the top of the program to give your elevator pitch of what you do and what you can offer. I think that's everything.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. And Kate, what would be some events or ways to engage for a nonprofit?
I mean, definitely give local if you're not doing it. It's time. We're going into year 7, I think. Yeah, 7. Yeah, join us. The cool thing about Give Local is that I always say that sometimes as a nonprofit and a small business owner, you feel like you're screaming into the void alone to get people to pay attention to you. But when like over 300 of us are screaming together, then you can't avoid us. So that will give you the opportunity for things that especially smaller organizations don't have access to a lot of the time, being on TV, being in the newspaper, you know, working together so that you're more visible because we're all working towards the same thing. So yeah, definitely that. Anytime you can collaborate and work with somebody else. So like having like a pop-up, whether it's a happy hour. Gift Horse does some really great things where you can come in for 2 hours to talk about your nonprofit, and they give you 50% of the proceeds for those hours. So it's all about being out in public. And, you know, how many times do you like, how did you meet so-and-so? I don't know. They just kept showing up and now we're friends, you know, or that's how a lot of things happen in York. So just making sure that you're always out there, putting your name and your face in front of as many opportunities as possible.
Yeah, so true. All right, ladies. So we'll wrap up here. I have a couple announcements, but just wanted to say thank you for joining us as panelists this morning. Thanks for your knowledge sharing and for the information you provided for our audiences today. And also one more thank you to PNC for sponsoring our 2023 Bloom Business Series webinars. So a couple of quick announcements here, and a reminder, we'll send a follow-up email with everything so that you all have it in your inbox at some point. So first up, the WBCO Bloom Grant. We talked about this briefly. The application opens tomorrow, November 16th. So mark your calendars for that. So link coming for all the information about that grant program, guidelines, deadlines, all that good stuff. Small Business Saturday is coming to York on November 25th. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Great way to support small businesses in the York community in downtown New York. And also it's a nationwide event. So wherever you are, support your small businesses on the 25th as well. And join us as we, as York County Economic Alliance and Downtown Inc. recognize Yoko's change makers and celebrate individuals making things happen in York County and in our community on, excuse me, on December 6th. The event link and registration is dropped there as well.
And come to Light Up Night on New Year's
Yeah,
Eve.
come to Light Up Night on First Friday.
There's going to be a real reindeer and Santa and so much free coffee and hot cocoa.
So Kate will be in a Christmas costume, jazzed up on coffee, and maybe riding a reindeer. I can't wait.
I don't know if they'll let me do that.
It has to happen.
I'll go get an inflatable one.
So make sure you're following York City special events for all the things happening, following Downtown York, following York County Economic Alliance. Good things to come as we close out the year and in 2024, of course. All right, everyone have a good day. Thank you so much. Thank you to our panelists. We'll see you soon.